What we're going to do here is we're going to have a starship cloak out, which means it's going to just basically disappear and shields will go up and all that kind of cool stuff. What I've done is I've imported the space background, which is in the resource folder, and we also have this PNG file called the spaceship. And I'm going to drag out the spaceship, and I'm just going to put it on the, well, actually let me create a new layer for them first of all. We're going to call it spaceship. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to turn this into a symbol. And by now you know how to do that, so we're going to go ahead and just go to modify, convert to symbol. We're going to call it ship. And what I'm going to do at this time is I'm going to extend this out for about 30 frames. Press F6 on the keyboard. And what I want to do is I want this to collapse on itself. So at frame 30, I want the ship to be pretty thin and stretch out like this. And I also want it to fade out. So with it still selected, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to select alpha. And we're going to make sure it's at 0. So at frame 1, the ship is intact. And then it stretches and vanishes here. Now let's go ahead and insert our motion tween and just get a little preview here. Okay, that's great, but we're not finished yet because it's a little too simple. We also need to extend the duration of our background. So let's go ahead to frame 30 and press F6 again. So now that everything will stay in view. Okay, so that's part 1. Let's go ahead now and create a new layer. I'll drag this on top of the spaceship, and we're going to lock these two layers, the spaceship and space, and we're going to drag another instance of our spaceship onto the stage, and we're going to try to match it so that it's overlaying the other one. Now we're going to go to our great timeline effects. We're going to go to Insert, Timeline Effects, Effects, and we're going to choose Blur. And as you see already, we have a very cool effect by default. And this is exactly what I want. So we're going to go say, OK. And the effect is already animated for us. And all we have to do is scrub the timeline. And we see what we have, some cool stuff here. OK, so now that we have this, let's go ahead and drag the spaceship on top of the blur. And let's preview it by pressing Enter or Return on the keyboard. And now you have a really cool cloaking effect.